Bit of sleep in my eyes. I just itching then. Yes, I have had a wash. Right, good morning, fisher people. I'm Alan Norris from Fish on TV. Bit of dust on my hat. Can't be having that, can we? Don't look so mighty then. It is Wednesday. Well, like a fisherman now. The 7th of June. Wednesday. What does that mean? It means I am in a qualifier for the Feederking at the absolutely wonderful Southfield Reservoir, and I am saying it with great pride for Southfield Reservoir because it's been fishing its doodads off. Compared to last year, it's been unbelievable. The results, the weights, don't get me wrong, the massive weights have come from in the woods and we're not fishing that bit, but there's still been some great weights along the bank side. That's the only way I can say it, not the canal side. The canal side still good, all from the canal all the way up to peg 80, I think it is, or something like that. It's been fishing absolutely brilliant. You've been needing sort of 20 pounds plus to qualify, depending on the day. Today there's a bit of a breeze, it's overcast. I think the wind, the northeasterly wind, it's changing to easterly a little bit later on. It's been chilly, but it has been warm when the sun comes out. I'm sure it'll be still blowing into that canal bank. You've got to favour that side. I'd love peg 12. There's never really usually an area where you can say, oh, you've drawn the flyer. But I think if it is still blowing into that corner, I think peg 12's got to have a great chance. It's usually a favoured peg. It didn't win last time. But there's plenty of fish coming out from all sorts of areas. Really looking forward to it today. The Moody Mistress, Meerkat Manor. It's unbelievable. You land a fish and everybody knows. Everybody knows within 5 minutes. It's fantastic. There are some great anglers, some proper mighty fishermen. There's Tommy Pickering here himself with his little dog. I forgot what they call his doggy. There'll be Darren Cox, Simon Fry, John Scott, the winner from last year. I managed to get his proper name out this time instead of calling him Scott. Joe Farrell, my pal. Jeff Wiseman, he's here. There's loads of them here, absolutely loads of people. So really looking forward to it. I think you just don't know with Southfield. You just don't know where the fish are going to come from. You're either on them or you're not on them. Even when you've not been on them, you've had a few fish, which is better than last year. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be good, I hope. I am definitely not getting Watterlick today. So let's see where we get drawn. I would be absolutely over the moon with peg 12. I wish I were like Woody. He names a peg that he wants and draws it. I name one that I want and get absolutely bloody miles away. But listen, that's what it is. So to qualify for the final, it's like the Feeder Masters. There are 3 zones of 20. If you win your zone of 20, you are through to the £10,000 final. Get in. I've got Joe Farrell, a few maggots. There we go. And we've been his gilly getting his bait for him. Nice one, Joe. Right, so let me get to the draw. The drawing in about 10 minutes. Jeff Wiseman's looking over. We'll see where we get drawn. We'll get on the bank and we'll try and get a few fishies caught. Come on, the final.
26. Jesus, that's what I dreamed of last night.
Sorry, 26. Hang on that. 26. Outstanding peg. Outstanding peg. Yes, 4.
Where'd you go, Billy?
Matty Armstrong. Morning, Andy.
Morning, mate. Alan. B11. 15, Alan Norris.
Peg 15. Right, as you've seen, I've drawn peg 15. I am definitely not unhappy with that. When I said peg 12, it's not peg 12 that's in the corner, it's peg 11 that's right in the corner. That will take some beating today. But I'm happy enough. I should get some fish from peg 15. Whether I can catch as many as 11 and 12, my pal Joe Farrell has drawn peg 12, so well done, Joe. I think he's going to do all right there. What they one or two have said is, you're just off the fish on peg 15. Listen, the wind's been blowing over there. They're not just going to stay in one corner, they've got to move up and down. There's got to be a chance of getting a fair few fish. I do actually think I will get some fish. Whether I can, like I say, whether I can catch as many as them down there, who knows. Lee Kerry did it from peg 14. I think he had 20 pounds. Let's just see if we can get a few, eh? Yeah. I'm happy with the canal bank. Never drawn a canal bank in the... Oh, sorry, I have drawn it. I've drawn it once before, a couple of years ago, and I did have a few fish, but it's fishing better. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's get down there, let's get it smashed. Come on. Joe, here's your maggots. Right, you've drawn peg 12, haven't you? Are you happy? Yeah. And I'm on 15, so we're in the same section now, in the zone.
Same zone, mate.
Yeah.
Down, innit?
Have you got any tips?
My work phone in the car.
Have you got any tips for me today then?
Get your head down. Don't have nothing to eat and wait for them bites.
And that's it. Good luck, mate.
Reservoir.
Normally a runt at peg. Oh, he's got all sorts going off here. I've blocked him off, folks. You're too late, Steve.
I'm a bit late, mate.
I thought you would have been running to that peg today, mate. So, folks, this guy, in everybody's eyes, is the favourite. Let's just see what he's got to say about it. Well, Steve, peg 11?
They're right.
Is that it?
Yeah, they're right.
He's not a man of many words, but he's right, he says. Oh well, here we go. So we'll this is me now. I'm about to get a platform. That's my peg. Oh, Joe Jagger, another one that forgot his bait.
Yes.
So this is my peg. Just this, you can see where the canal joins in here. I'm happy to be here, but as you can see, the wind is blowing that way, right into that corner where Steve is. Steve the lightning bolt. Steve Whitfield, folks. My approach today, what's it going to be? I'm going to have a look short, because there's been plenty of fishing. I'm going to have a look short, because it has been blowing this way and across sort of for quite a while. I'm going to have one quite short down here. It's only going to be 12 metres. I'm going to have like 30 metres and 50 metres. Simple as that. I just fancy, I mean, I've just put my platform out and it doesn't half drop off a little bit. It's a bit deeper than it is to right, so I'm just going to have a little 12 metre chuck where people would fish with a pole. You never know. You just never know. A little practice, I had a few of those at 12 metres, so it's a big match day. Whether they'll come in that short, don't know, but it's a resting line, isn't it? You can use it while you're resting the lines, so let me get the rest of my gear ready. I've got two 12-foot rods, 620 extremity on one of the Shimano, oh, I forgot what they call them now. C14 XTC. There we go, look. Get that for a beauty. Cast it a million miles with that. And then I've just got the 11-foot black parabolics with an ½ ounce tipping just for the short line. I've got a 2 ounce tipping for the long line because there will be some tow on it within a shallow venue. And I've got 1½ ounce tip on the 30-metre lines. That should just do it nicely. Let me get the rest of the gear. I've got an hour. I've got to plumb up, baits out, camera up, get fishing, empty oil. There we go. And my first bite, folks. Don't think it's a big one. Joe's had one, a small skimmer. And we're about 40 minutes in. Had to go on maggot to start, and I just swapped to a red worm. And it's gone round after 2 minutes, so. Feels a bit funny. I hope it's not an eel. It's a nice little skimmer. It was shaking quite a bit, that must have been nodding its head all over. So we're off the mark. I would say it's probably about 10 ounce. There we go, nice little skimmer there for you. Right. Sean Taylor just walked round, a friend of mine. He's just give me a little update. It seems to be fishing quite hard everywhere. There's a lot of people struggling, like myself. It seems sort of in the 40s, the sort of 10-poundish. People are admitting to, but they do tell porkies, these fishermen. Joe Farrell on peg 12 is admitting to £15, 14 or £15. And Steve in the corner is admitting to £11. So that's peg 12, peg 11. So we really do need a visit, 3 or 4 good bream, just to get in the running, but I just don't know, it's just not happening, folks. It's just not. Joe's into a small, I just saw him giving it a twitch and then it's gone. Every time I've twitched it, nothing. So well done, Joe. Joe Jagger, that is. I think it's just a small skimmer, with the look of it. Let's have a look. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, skimmer. Oh, better than nothing, better than nothing. Probably about 8 ounce, with the look of that. Right, so that's your update, folks. Right, I'm just in the queue for the Feederking, waiting for his draw. Look who I've dropped on, Woody. John Murray. Woody, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna kick your head in. Nice one, well done, John.
24.
24 next to Joey Farrell.
One remind me name. Remind me name. John Murray. Want to go 4 or after Peter?
Is that first round training?
Yeah.
58.
All right, Alan.
Right. Good morning, fisher people. I'm Alan Norris from Fish on TV. It is, I don't know what the date is. What day? It's Wednesday, the 21st of June. And as you've all probably gathered, I am at the King's Chamber. We've just done the draw for the Feederking Qualifier. To qualify for the £10,000 final, you have got to win your zone of 20, pretty much the same as the Feeder Masters. So there are 3 zones of 20. I didn't do so well last time. I had 1 fish, even though there were quite a few fish caught. And I've just drawn peg 58. That's the top zone at the end. So I'm in with end peg 70 and then 20 pegs further down. So there you go. 58. No point trying to explain to you whether it's a good or a bad peg. I think it's a case of get everything right, hope there's some fish there, and we'll see how it goes. I know the wind has changed direction. I'm pretty sure the wind will be blowing up our way, I think, or in his face. I can't, I'm not 100% certain, but we'll get them. I'm sure it's a crossing in his face slightly, so not too bad. Picking lines is probably the most important thing there. Something was just biting me then. Can you believe that? Little black bugger. Ow. Yeah. It was just like a little black beetle, or I don't know. Damn thing. Right, so yeah, peg 58. Let's get down there. I think we're fishing about 4:15. I think. I can't remember. I'll have to ask when we get on the bank. Simple bream fishing. I'll probably have a really short line. Last time I came, I had quite a few small fish. They were about 13 metres. People seem to fish between 13 and 20 metres, depending on what they fancy. So let's get down there. Let's see if we can get a few fish caught, and we'll try his best to get qualified. So can't tell you much about peg. Every peg's pretty much the same. I think it's a case of get your tactics right, get your lines right, and your feeding patterns, and you've got as good a chance as anybody else. I'll see you down there. Right, I'm all ready. I don't even know what time it is yet. I think we've got about half an hour. I need to look at me. Where's my phone? Don't know where my phone is. Lost my phone. Losing everything today, folks. Right, I'm all ready. Like I say, it's pretty much. Every peg's pretty much the same. I've got Danny Wilson at the side of me here, look. He's a mighty fisherman, he's Danny. Who have I got? There's not really that many people I know down here, to be honest with you. I know my mate Joe Farrell's on 23. Yes, he's on 23. Right, what am I doing? I've gone for a short line, really short line. Wind's blowing in this way, so I've gone for like a 12-metre line, which I don't normally fish here, but I'm going to put some bait on it, because when I've come for a fish, I've had some fish off it, and people have been catching on pole in matches, so they can come in, and the wind's blowing the right way today. I've got 36-metre line, and it's lovely there. I expected it to be really silty, but it's lovely, absolutely lovely there at 36 metres. And 45, it's not as good, but it's not bad. It's quite firm bottom. There'll be one or two people giggling at that one, but I'm happy with them. So I'll show you my peg. I've gone for like 12 metres down here, 36 over there, and 45 over here. That's it. It's pretty flat. It's probably a bit deeper at about 8 metres in front of you here, and then it's roughly round about 4 foot-ish, 4.5 foot in most pegs. You might get some 5 foot in some areas, but I've not plumbed every peg, so I don't know. But maybe a bit shorter here, you might get close to 5 foot, but it's generally around about 4 foot-ish, 4.5 foot. There's no count on bomb. You chuck it in and point, that's it. So there we go. Baits wise, I've got my bag of match baits, super skimmer, and the commercial green. I've got casters, a few live red maggots. They're just starting to come to life because they've been in a bag. That's not very good. A few dead ones, just starting to chop a few worms. We've got red worms in there, feeder changes in there, hook length changes there. That's it. And rod wise, right, for the short line we've got an 11 foot parabolics with 1/2 ounce tipping, Preston extremity 520 with mono on. I always use mono on short lines. I've got braid on the 36 metre line there. That's a 520 extremity with the 12 foot SUV, 1.5 ounce tip. There's quite a lot of tow on this lake, reservoir should I say. And on the 46 metre line, exactly the same, map parabolics, 12 foot SUV with a 2 ounce tipping, and a 620 extremity, and it's the Guru Pulse 8 braid 010. I've started off on a 14 hook, a 16 on the 36. Just Well, I haven't got my mind up, 14 or 16, I don't know yet, because there's a... Last time I came, there was a lot of small fish moving, so I'm thinking, smaller bait, small hook, let's just start catching one or two. But I'll be wishing if I hook into a big bream, I've got a bigger hook on, but I've got them in on the 16, 16's big enough. I've even got some 18s made up for this short line if there's a lot of little skimmers and roach, which there was last time, so... Just covering all angles. I'd like to think I can catch all the fish on a 14 hook all day long. Brilliant. Right, we're getting off in half an hour. We shall see you folks during the match. Right. Danny's on an eel and there's a small skimmer being caught a bit further up. Danny's had an eel and a roach on his long line. I've not had a bite on long line. I've just gone onto the 36 metre line. Little rattle on end at tip. A small skimmer coming 30 metres and just sort of lifting it up. Decided to shake its head and fall off. They were about that big. You still don't like losing them because that could cost you, couldn't it, if you end up catching quite a few. So I've just gone back onto that line again. I think, I'm not sure whether Mick Axon or Andy Rent, one of the two, they're next to each other, has had a bream. It looked about 4 poundish. It's hard to tell from here. I've not seen or heard of much else being caught, folks. So that's just a little update. Let's hope we start getting one or two now. I've been on maggot, I've been on worm out there. Not had a touch. I'm just giving it a rest. I had 2 3-minute casts before I went onto this line just to put a bit of extra bait down. I'm going to give this a good 45 minutes now. We'll just see. Well, it depends how it goes anyway. So there we go. I've got, I did mention where I was fishing, but I've got a fixed rig on the long line and I've got 2 running rigs, traditional running rigs on the 2 short lines. Right, over and out. Goddamn skimmers. Right, it's gone again on the next cast. It's not a bream, I think it's a better skimmer. Hopefully we can keep this one on, folks. Because I just lost one right at the net 2 seconds ago. This is the time. There we go, we got him. That'll do, folks, that'll do. There we go. Nice little skimmer for you. He's got to be about 8 to 10 ounce. Right, let's see if we can get a few more of those. It's come out of its mouth. That just shows how delicate they are, doesn't it? Come out of its mouth and it'll caught me bloody net. Right, let me get this out. Right, another little bite, another skimmer I think, small skimmer. There's a guy caught a decent skimmer up to right about 3 or 4 pegs up. Tiny little skimmer. Here we go. We'll get back in, folks. I've got all my clubber on because it looks like it might sling it down. It's tried. Anyway, in between time, waiting. It goes round on my long line. It's not the biggest, but it's a fish. Little skimmer. I was hoping Danny went back out on his long line and he's had a 4 pounder and I get one of them. Can't complain though, folks, we can't complain. That's 4 fish. So she's got to keep batting on. So Check the line, everything's okay. And that's the first one I've had on worm. I've not had a sign on worm all day. I had a few quick casts on my 36 metre line and rested this long line. And when I saw Danny have a go and he got one about, I think it was second or third chuck, I thought I'd have another look on mine because I had left some bait out there. I had a slight indication on first cast, and then second cast I got that one. We think Mick Axon's got about £8. I think Danny's got about 6. And I've not a lot, they're not very big mine. I'll be lucky if I've got 2. Started putting a bit more worm in on that long line. So we'll just see if we can get a visit from a nice one. That's what we're after, a nice one. A couple of little casters, got to be a bit of worm and caster. Start putting a little bit more bait in, only on that long line, in my feeder, particles, worm and caster. Alright, let's get that out there. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Get in. Right. The trap is sat. John Arth, I'm going to kill him. Not been well, Aunt John Arth, so we're getting better, matey. Right, there we go. Oh, I hope the microphone's because I've covered the mic up, haven't I? I've covered the mic up. Sorry about that, folks. So that was another skimmer, 4 skimmers. Danny's got about £6. We think Mick Axon's got about £8. He's had a skimmer outside of me. Don't know what they're catching up there. I've heard they're getting 1 or 2. Did like it up there. It's been blowing up there, the wind. We'll see how long we got left. I've not tried this 12 metre line. I've got 2 hours and 25 minutes left, so I need a visit from 2 or 3 decent bream to be in the race. So there we go, folks. Over and out. Update shortly. But there's not been too many people walking up and down. You normally get somebody walking up and down telling you exactly who's got what, but not a lot of info. I just know that Mick Axon's probably doing about the best that I know of around here. Right, there we go. Right, it's fish number 5 or 6, I can't remember, but again it's only a small one. There's a couple of bream to my left court. And the fish that other people are catching are certainly bigger than these. I've not had a bite for a good hour or so on any line or any bait. Don't matter what I've tried, but that came on 3 maggots. So Danny's had a couple of decent skimmers. Guy next to him's had a bream, 2 bream I think, and a few little bits. So he's doing all right, but we desperately need 3 or 4 bream now. We're into the last hour and 10 minutes. So let's just hope something happens, folks. It can still happen. You only need 2 or 3 and you're in with a shout again. So there we go. You just never know, folks. Oh, can't be doing with that there. Thought I got it all off. Get the slime off. Can't be having slime on your line, can you? It's like somebody else's drool on your dinner plate. Lovely jubbly. It's ideal conditions. You'd think we'd be banging bream out in this weather. Nice breeze. A little bit overcast now and again. Warm. But again, you can come here by yourself and tip never stops going round, and then when there's 60 on, different. Always different, folks. It's always different. Right. Here we go. Last hour and 10 minutes. Really need some good fish now. Let's just hope something turns up on where I've been casting. Fairly accurate. It's a little bit more difficult with this wind. Sometimes you'll go left and compensate and it stays straight. So next one you don't go as far left and then it blows right. Oh dear. They're the trials and errors of fishing, aren't they? Yes. Oh, timer. Again, all my bites, if I've left it over sort of 4 minutes, I think 4 minutes 15 is the shortest bite I've had. All the other bites have come within the first sort of I'd say up to 3.5 minutes really. I'm not going to leave it in that short. I've been leaving it in up to, when it went really quiet, I was leaving it in up for like 7-8 minutes. Just to see if I could bore one on, I suppose, but if you do get a bite, it's definitely within the first 3 or 4 minutes. So there we go, little update. Again, we're praying for that tip to go around in this last hour. Come on. Oh, I looked into another one, a proper bite, folks. It's not the biggest, but it's a decent skimmer. Thought that was going to be a proper. I thought that was going to be a proper bream, folks. The way that bite went round, but it's another little skimmer. I believe it. Can you double worm and all? Oh, I thought it would be massive, and it just turned out to be a tiddler. And the guy one up from Danny, he's borrowed his brother's gear. He's a chance to win his own. He don't even fish these matches. Well done, the non-skimmer fisherman. Right, let's get this back in, folks. Well, I've had a bite on every cast so far. I think last 3 casts, but no size, folks. There was one I didn't even realise I got a fish on. Tip went straight round. Double worm, and I'm getting these tiddly little things. Everybody's catching to my left, but they're. Oh yeah, it's a good ounce bigger. They're catching like 8-10 ounce fish. I'm getting double worm and I'm catching tiddlers. Can you believe it, folks? Ridiculous. But at least the tip's going out. Lovely bite and all, like a proper bream bite. Oh, damn it. Right. Let's get back in. So we can get a bream. Right, there's not long left. I've had 9 or 10 fish. I might have missed one, not sure. I've got 9 on my clicker. There's 15 minutes left. I've been putting double red worm on. I had 3 red worms on last cast. And I've just had another skimmer about this big. Unbelievable. Proper bites as well. They're greedy little fuckers. He's just had one to my right. About 4 times the size of what I've just caught. There's only me seems to be catching small ones. But we've had a few bites, folks. It's a shame they weren't about £2 a piece. But they've not been £2 a piece. They've been had a couple about 8 to 10 ounce, and the rest have been 2 to 4 ounce. Can't write it, can you? So unless we get 3 bream in next 15 minutes, looks like I'm waiting for the next round. It's been a lovely day, apart from when it tried raining. Nice breeze on, a little bit overcast, bit of sun now and again. and a few bites. What more do you want? Bigger fish. So I think Danny's probably got 7 or 8 pound. I think my 9 fish, 10 fish. I'll be lucky if there's 3. I don't even think there'll be 3 that are that small. 2 pound something, I'm guessing. But on another day, all those bites could be 3-4 pounders, couldn't they? Right, so I'll weigh them in. We'll see what they weigh. Give me an idea. You've got to weigh in, haven't you, folks? You've got to weigh in. I don't know how anybody else has done to me right, because I've been looking this way. So you got another one? Oh no, it's just tightening his line up. Right, so we shall see you guys at the weigh-in, unless I get a 10 pound bream. Can't see that happening. Folks, whoa, warm now, bloody hell, what is it? Oh, 27 it says, and I'm in shade. Good grief. Right, Feederking Southfield Reservoir Qualifier 5. Well, Qualifier 4, I only ended up with 1 fish, can't remember how big it was now, £1 something like that. What's your name, pal?
Dan Webb.
Sam Webb. Dan Webb. Dan Webb. He is your zone qualifier. When he's got his sunglasses on and all his Preston gear from side, you'd think it was Lee Gary. Looks nothing like him with glasses off, but with glasses on he does. He's been on peg 67. He's won with £11 something. So well done, Dan Webb. And he's had 6 skimmers and a bream. How have I gone on in qualifier 5? 4 candles. 5, qualifier 5. I have decided to fish at 45 metres, 36 metres and a short line at 12. With that wind blowing in, I didn't really think you needed to chuck it a million miles today. It was blowing the right way. Comfortable cast, can keep it accurate. Which is what I've done. I've actually left worm out on the short line and put worm in on the long line. And while I've been baiting the short line, the 12 metre line up, I've just put a few dead reds, few casters and ground bait in there. Every sort of half an hour, 45 minutes, put a couple of feeder fulls in. And I've given it a go and I never had a sign. Which can happen when there's this much pressure. Come in pleasure, and I've had some right days at 12 metres, but they do catch on the pole, but the presentation's completely different. So there are my lines. I've done 2 feeder fulls at 45 metres on the deck, and then I've emptied 2 on the top. I've done pretty much the same on the 36 metre line, except I've put an extra feeder full in because I was fishing the long line first. That was the intention. I've not fished the 12 metre line until the last couple of hours, which I never had a bite. Long line, no signs. Tried 2 pieces of bits of worm, 2 worms, red worms, 1 dendra, worm and a caster, worm and a maggot, double maggot, triple maggot, single maggot. Not a bite. You swap and change just to see, because some days they just seem to want one thing or the other. So we think, unless they just turn up, have a munch and bugger off. We don't really know that, but it's all for your own and your own confidence. So nothing there. Gone on to the, gone out, emptied 2, put a bigger feeder on, 2 big feeder fulls, because I'm going to go fish my 36 metre line, and I've had a few fish, albeit very small fish, and I was getting those on a single maggot. Couldn't get a bite on worm, hoping for some bigger fish, put a single maggot back on. Pretty much I've rotated the lines. I've then put 2 reds on in a window feeder, rammed it with chopped worm, capped it off with sloppy ground bait, and I've had 3 fish in 3 chucks. I think I ended up with about 4 more fish off that line altogether, and I've ended up with 10 skimmers for £3.4. Everybody else seems to be catching slightly bigger skimmers than me. In fact, one of the bites, it was a cracking bite. I thought I'd missed it. I'm just reeling it in as normal. I put 3 red worms on there, and the skimmer started bouncing across the top. I did have to, I had a little chuckle to myself. I'll laugh at anything. But I just thought, I didn't even know it were on. So, would I have changed anything? I don't actually think I would. I've caught £5 bream out of there on a single maggot and 1 red worm, or 2 little bits of worm, or even a worm head. So I don't think I'd have changed what I've done. I think I've done it right. I've generated 12 bites and I've had 10 fish. I had 2 small skimmers bump off right at the net. A month ago, you generate 12 bites, land 10 fish, you'd have been talking £30. So what do you do? I was quite happy with what I did. I've kept it accurate. When I've wanted to go to one side or the other of where I've been putting the feed, I've done that. I've done it exactly how I wanted to do it, and I feel like I feel like I've done it right. But you just don't know, folks. You just don't know. And I've really enjoyed it. We've had a westerly wind with a nice breeze on there. It's been warm enough. Looked like it was going to absolutely persist it down, and it didn't. We just got a bit of a drizzle. But I've really enjoyed it. It's been a few bites. I know you're all thinking, £3 odd, I can enjoy that. To generate bites from here, from this place, you do well to do that. And then one day, them fish are not going to be 2 and 3 and 4 ounce. They're going to be 2 and 3 and 4 pound. And that's when you take your chance. So the Dan Webb up here has had 7 fish for £11 something, and he's qualified. So they've been a bit better fish. Talking to Richard Vaughan, he's had £7 odd. And he's had a £4 bream and a few skimmers. So where I was, where in my peg, I was just catching small stuff. What's his name? Danny. He had £7 something. He did hook into a bream on his 55 metre line. And the guys to my right, they've had £3 odd a piece as well. So we've all been catching smaller fish. But there we go, that's qualifier 5 over a Feederking gong. I'm back here, I don't know when I've got 3 more tickets, and I'm also here for a Feeder Masters. Looking forward to those. You've just got to keep getting your tackle right, think you're getting your feeding right, have a bit of confidence, and hope to drop on the breams. Yeah. Right, I'm away this weekend with the wife. It is the UK Champs for me a week tomorrow. Know absolutely nothing about makings. They've redone it. Difficult to get a lot of information. Johnny Arthur's given me a little bit of information, but they have renewed all the lakes, so it's difficult to get any info on that. I'll probably just go down a pellet approach when I get there and take it from there, see how we get on. So, hope you've enjoyed today's videos. I'll try and get hold of the results, put the results up for today. If I can find the ones from the one before, I'll put for qualifier part, I'll put those up as well. So well done all qualifiers. I don't know who else has qualified. I've just got myself off. It's miles down there to the other zones. So there we go, folks. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, it's absolutely free to subscribe to this channel. If you click the notification bell, you'll get all our videos as we upload them, and a thumbs up. would be very, very nice. So until next Thursday in the UK Champs, where I'll be meeting Woody, I'm sure, and Jeff Wiseman and a few others for a Brecco. Take care, folks, and don't forget, fish on.